Assalamu alaikum. This is Porosh, and today I'm going to show you how to build a maze game using ActionScript 3. And this maze game will be for multiple levels and won't be ended with one video, so it may take a few videos. This is Animate 20 I'm using here, and so I'm gonna click create new, and here it gives me an option. I'm going to select ActionScript 3 and then click create. I'd like to change my stage dimension. I would like to make it a little larger, so 800, and height would be 500, and frame rate would be 35 per second. And now I'm going to save this file. To save this file, save, and I'm gonna save it on my desktop. Here I have a folder, pre-created folder named maze game, so I'm gonna save it here and name the FLA maze game. You can name anything you'd like to, and I'm gonna click save. To build a maze game, you must need one player and mazes and then a destination. So I'm gonna make a player, so I'm gonna click rectangle tool and get rid of the stroke color, and then I'll drag and create a rectangle on my stage, and then I would like to change the color, so I'll select blue would be better. Okay, and then I'm zoom and select selection tool and then rotate it. I think it's okay. And now I'm gonna select line tool and then pressing shift, I'm gonna drag it, and then I'm gonna select the below part and then delete, and then I'll get rid of the stroke color, and I think this is it. And I'd like to make it smaller, 28, and then it would be 12. I think it is okay now. I think it is okay. And then by selecting it and convert it to a symbol, I'll name it player. You can name anything you'd like to, and the registration point should be on the center, and I'll export it for an action script, and then I'll make packages for this class. So I'm going to type here fbd dot scripts dot player and click OK, and then OK. Here I have the player on my library, and it is linked to fbd script dot player. That means I have to create a folder called fbd, and then I have to get another folder called scripts, and then I have to save the class. So I'm gonna right click and click edit close, and then I'm gonna save this class first. Save, and I'm gonna save it on my desktop inside the same folder maze game. Then I'll create a folder named fbd, then double click and go inside that folder, and I'll create another folder named scripts and then I'll again double click this folder and save this file. Save, and you see the packages is fbd.script. okay, so here on my desktop I have my main FL file, and then here I have a folder fbd, and then script, and then I have player class here. Okay, so and now I'm gonna create this player class to move with my computer keyboard and give it some speed. I can create it here on the main timeline for moving the player, but I would like to create it inside its own class, and that would be easier for me. And okay, so here, going back to its class, I'm going to type here add event listener, and that would be event dot added to stage, and the function name would be added to stage. And then I'll create a function for this function. Here I'll type, I'd like to make it private function, so private function added to stage event, and that would be also event opening curly brace, enter, closing curly brace. As I have created this added to stage function, I have to also create remove from stage function. So here I'm going to type add event listener, and that would be event dot remove from stage, and the function name should be remove from stage. And then I create this function to private, copy this, paste it here, and change it to remove from stage. And then here, when I add my player class on the stage, I'd like to make keyboard event listener for making this class to be moved around the stage. So here I'll type stage dot add event listener, and that would be keyboard event and key down, and the function it would be anything you'd like to, but I'll name key down handler. And here I have to create key down handler function, so I'll type private function and the function name event keyboard event, and here I have to also create key up handler. That means when key is down, a function will be executed. Also it is necessary to have key up handler to stop key down handler. So I'll type, I'll copy this and change key down to key up handler, and change the function name to up handler, and then copy this function too and paste it here, and then change the function name. Okay, and now I have to create few variables for my player class to move left, right, up and down. So I'll create public var moving left, and this variable would be boolean equal to be false initially. This is for moving left side. Okay, and then another, just copy this, and this one would be moving right, and this one would be moving up, and this one moving down. And now I have to create key press function. When I press up key, I need to move my player up on the stage, like this way, left this way, right this way, and down this way. So there are different way you can do it, but I always like switch statement. Let me show you one thing. If I trace event.keycode, it will give me which key I have pressed or I am pressing. Okay, if I test, and if I press up key, it's showing me 38 because the key code of up key is 38. If I just type here, if even dot key code equal to 38, then the function would be executing. Okay, but I'll not use this one. I will use switch statement. Okay, and you can also type here saying if even dot keycode equal to keyboard dot up, then execute that function. You can also type this, but I will use here switch statement. So I'm going to type switch even dot keycode, and for 4 variables I have to create 4 cases here. So I'll type here case break comma. You have seen making switch statement in my previous tutorial, so I'm not going to explain it. And then copy this, paste 3 times, and that would be 4 times altogether. And now here, in case of keyboard dot left, and here copy this, paste it, and change it to, and this one to, that means when keyboard dot left is pressed, then I want moving left to be true, and for right this one is moving right. Copy this, change it to moving right, and for up key and for down key change it to moving down. That means when left key is pressed, this variable is going to be true from false. Okay, and now when the this is key up handler, no problem, key down handler is below here, so I'm just gonna copy all this, paste it here, and for key down handler these are true, and for key up handler all are going to be false again, so change all to false. Okay, and I think it is done. If I test this control, let me trace it, trace key is pressed, and for this one right key is pressed, for this one up key is pressed, and this one down key is pressed. And if I test it now, but first you have to save this. If I test it now, I should see when I press left key it should show me this text, and for right key this one, up key this one, and down key this one. Okay, so if I test it, control test, and when I press left key nothing is showing, I don't know why. It says undefined property, undefined key property keyboard. Okay, no problem. Here I have to import a class saying import flash dot utils or UI, I don't remember dot, sorry, it would be UI dot keyboard, and now it will work. When I used if even dot keycode equality 38, then that problem was not shown, and now here because of this keyboard dot keyboard it wants me to have this class to be imported. Okay, and if I test it now, I should see when I press left showing left key is pressed, down, right, up. That means it is working. And now let me get rid of all these traces, no need, as it is working. And now I have to create event listener, interframe event listener, to make this thing work. But if I type here, say this dot x minus equal to 30 or 25, anything you can type here, and if I test it now, it should work. Yes, it is working, but it's jumping towards the left, and this is not I want to make it smoother. Okay, let me test it again. You see, just notice, yes, it is jumping towards 30 pixel. Okay, and this is not what I wanted, so get rid of this. I have to create an interframe event listener to make it run smoother. So here I'll create add event listener, and it would be event dot enter frame, and the function name should be update. You can name anything you'd like to. I prefer update, so I type here update, and now here I'll create a function, and that would be private function update, and that would be event and then event. And here, but first I have to create another variable for this player to be moved in certain speed. So public var speed, and that would be number, and I want this player to be moved 5 pixels. Okay, 5. And now here I'll type if left key, that means when left key when moving left, that means when this variable is true, I want this dot x minus equal to this speed, and copy this, paste it, okay, and then change it to right, and then change this minus to plus, and change it to up, and the speed would be minus, okay, and change it to down, and it would be plus. Save the file. If I test it, it should work. And here when I press left, you see it's smoother, and up key is not working, left and right key is working. I have problem here, I think. Sorry, I have to change it here, X to Y, and it will be working. And if I test it now, okay, moving, and if I press both keys, you see, that's why I told you to be, I want it to be smoother, okay, and it is working. And now when I press left key, I want this player face left side, and for right face right side, and up and down side. Okay, so I have to make it rotation. When I press left, I want to make it rotate on certain amount of rotation, and down and left as well. So here, and now it is on 0 rotation, on 0 amount. Okay, so here moving left, when moving left is true and the player goes towards X with minus 5 speed, I want this dot rotation, and I can't remember the rotation about when. Let me put any number equal to be, let me put minus 60, and test it. When I press left, minus 60, it rotated, but not fully. So I'm going to increase the this 120. I think it should work now. Left, no, that means 68 degree. What about this? and this is a very big problem. No, sorry, 90, and that would be perfect. And this is perfect. 90. Okay, 90. And now for moving right, that should be plus 90. Okay, copy it, plus 90, and when I press right, and it is working left, right, and I have to put up. Up is 0, I know. So here I'll type, copy this, and as I know up is 0, and not put it below here. And for moving down, and I don't know exactly, then okay, just copy this, and 160 should be better. I think it will be work. If I type 160 and then I test it, okay, no, and I have to change it to 100 and what happened? No, 145. Sorry guys, no, full rotation 100, 360. I don't know exactly what. No, it is not working. And half of 360, that means 180 should work, but it is not working. 180, then I think it should work. Yes, it is working. So you see, sorry guys, I should have practiced more to make it smoother or make it easier for me, but it's okay, no problem, as it is done. And my first goal to making player and moving along with keyboard is done, and I think this is it for today's tutorial. In the next tutorial I'll create maze here and also a destination for the player, and hit test for the maze and the destination, and go to certain levels. And I think you like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial and if you think that you have learned something, then please do subscribe me, and please put a lot of comments, share this video, and wait for the next tutorial. Okay, that's it. Assalamu alaikum.